Hey, so that was something, huh? I think your microphone's off. I can't hear you at all. Hello? You here? Well, I know you're here. It says you're right here on the thing. Oh, great. By the way, I'm taking down these when I'm done, then splicing them into one big one. This is crazy. I mean, wow. Something's definitely trying to stop us here. Come on, dude. We know you're here. Why can't I hear you?
Oh, ooh, I heard a noise.
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh, now I can. There we go.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
So let's hope we can get everyone back from that stream. You guys try to go spread the word, okay? That this thing didn't turn out so great. But we're going to just pick up right where we left off.
All
Let's hope.
right.
So we just talked about Dawes. So now there's just one person left in the main cast to review. We have Erasmus, Roberto, Harold, Fergus, Elaine, Elena, and Dawes. And now we have the last one. I guess we're having a dramatic silence right now. Wow, this is bad. Why does this keep happening? Like, really, why? Ah, jeez. YouTube is trying to fight us, I'm telling you. Come on. Can you guys hear us at all? Anything? Because it just went dead again. And he's gone again. Okay, great. Oh boy, hang tight. This is insane, I'm telling you. I'm sorry. Okay, his computer just got fixed. He's coming right back on. Sorry about this whole thing, folks. We're going to make it up to you. Give you a series of various questions to. Can I give you a series of various questions you can ask at the end? So his computer's coming right back up. Everything's coming right back. Let's hope that everyone in the last stream can definitely, like I was saying, can find out about this. So if you guys know how to get them back, that'd be awesome. So so yeah, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of the characters so far? There's one more left who we may end up being the fan favorite. We're not sure. We don't know because we're not you guys. We're not the fans. Well, we're fans of our own work, but we're not you guys. So yeah, don't worry. Everything's going to. And yes, we're going to get to the whole character design thing. We're going to get everything up to snuff. We're just going to have to make sure that we talk about and like we said, Elzario, they are cliche, but we're supposed. That's the point. That's the joke. Is that a lot of them are cliche, but like VeggieTales, a lot of them are kind of cliche too, but we take them in a different direction. Let's see if he is getting back up to normal. Okay. Oh, the pain of being in college and not being with him right now. Am I right? Everything's gonna be okay. Don't you worry. I'm gonna take care of y'all just good. Probably not talk like that.
Am I back?
You are back.
Whew. Yay.
So now we have 4 or 5, I can't tell, of the old people who were originally watching the stream. I think they might slowly be coming back. So
Okay.
that's good. I'm going to try to get them all back. But now you describe super person.
Super person, yes. Super Person is fantastic. I love Super Person. So, Super Person is, as you'd expect from his name, he is a superhero, kind of. And he's definitely the least intelligent of this group.
Absolutely.
He doesn't really have any power. Well, I mean, he does have powers, but all of them are things that really just about anyone else can do. Like walking powers.
Walking powers activate.
Yeah, so he's very, I guess, theatrical with his superhero-ness. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh.
What? What's going on? Oh, don't tell me. No. No! Come on, dude. Don't do this to me. Think about all those offos.
Okay.
Now there's two of you on here.
Yeah, so Jen turned off again.
Jen's his computer, by the way.
Yep. And I think what it is the whole streaming thing. I think that's using up more battery than is coming through by charging. So I think I'm gonna just have to let her charge for a while and stick on the phone for now.
That's
and
okay.
I don't know why there are two of me. I guess the other one didn't fully disconnect, so it's still just kind of there. Yeah.
And sorry about this whole mess, guys. Don't worry. We just got it all figured out now. But Super Person essentially, he's a kid. He's just a kid.
Pretty much. I mean, not literally, but essentially, yeah, basically, mentally.
Yeah, he's mentally still a kid. He refuses to grow up, and again, that's his thing. Now, that leads us to the honorary 9th member of the group. He's not a main character. By the way, Dawes and Super Person, they are cast. But that leads us to his sidekick. He's not an actual member of the group because he's considerably younger than everybody else. But yeah, he still tags around a lot.
And that would be Webster, who is Super Person's sidekick, who as the name implies, he is very verbose. Webster, like Webster's Dictionary, like Noah Webster.
He knows too much.
Yes, he's very intelligent and uses very large words. And he's all around just kind of a nerd.
Yeah, he doesn't have that thing where he needs to learn and grow like everyone else, although he definitely does have some lessons he needs to learn, but he's not in the main cast. But we got a whole bunch of other, just a slew of side characters.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, there are probably enough to make up at least about a quarter of the actual population of Stannard.
First of all, there are the main antagonists who are referred to as the League of Men with Disappointing Hats.
Yes. They are the chairman of the Homeowners Association. And, well, they're all different, but their overall main big thing is just that they want everything to stick exactly to how they want it to be in the town.
Because Stannard's a weird place.
Yeah. And though, most of the men with hats are very weird themselves, they still have no tolerance for anything that isn't them or the way they want it to be. And often they don't even really have much tolerance for each other.
No, they don't. And they're all named after their own hats as well.
Right, yes. Each of them is named after whatever hat they wear. I don't know if we've ever actually talked about or even thought about if those are actually their real names or not, or if they have real names or whatever. But at this point, that's just their names, just their hats.
It's true. So let's go over the hats.
You got the leader, Top.
Where's a top hat?
Yep, as you'd expect. Buller. I guess I'm leading these in kind of order of rank, even though after Top, there's no defined second in command. But Boulder is not Boulder. Bowler is. I guess you could say he's the next highest up.
He seems to be the favorite when it comes to top.
Right.
Because Top is very uptight and snooty, and then Bowler kind of he builds off of that. But Bowler's a little bit of an Orin.
Yeah.
He's a little bit of a sadist because his voice is a mixture of Vincent Price and Orson Welles. He's the stereotypical old-timey villain, the guy with the twiddly mustache who tied the girl on the railroad tracks. That's all
right,
that I am.
Because like the whole bowler hat thing is just kind of that stereotype villain. And then after bowler,
because all their hats represent their personalities
to some extent. I mean, some of them are kind of like there's not exactly a personality that you can necessarily get from a hat, but we tried.
Yeah. All right. So next.
I guess I don't know where exactly I'd go from there because after that, none of them are really competent at anything. I guess Fez. I guess I'd say Fez would probably be the next one in line, just by default, because the other three aren't really good for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Fez. I don't know how exactly a Fez would be.
I get nerdish.
I guess I don't know. I feel like I'd usually attribute a Fez to some kind of like secret society, but Fez is just kind of a nerd. He's like smart, but like none of his intelligence is really that useful.
Yeah, he's just kind of the nerd who tries to impress you with his intelligence, even though it means absolutely nothing.
Right. It's just completely irrelevant facts that don't apply to anything.
Another part with Fez is that not only is he's not really the least popular, but like he's the least socially acceptable out of all of them because he doesn't know how to talk to people. That even works in his line delivery. Now, if someone just heard how I deliver the Fez voice because I do voice Fez, I think each voice. I voiced three of the hats. You what? Oh yeah.
We voiced three of them.
Well,
and I guess we actually just went. No, wait, no, we don't. You voiced two. That's right.
Well, I do. That's right. I voiced. Well, I guess 2.5 because of Cap, but we'll get to Cap.
Okay, yeah.
But,
that's right. I forgot about Cap. Wait.
For those who would hear how Fez would talk normally, you'd think it'd just be a bad actor, but the thing is, his voice is just weird. There's a line that I always love to say for Fez whenever I'm pitching the voice. It's, "Hey guys, you want to hear the story of when I found a slug? I was walking on the side of the road and I found a slug. I almost stepped on it, but then I didn't. You want to hear the story again? Oh, please, I'd rather get a railroad spike jammed in the side of my head than hear that again. Perfect! I was walking down the side of the road."
Yeah, so he's probably the one that overall invokes the most anger out of just about anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Just because just about everything that comes out of his mouth is just completely useless.
But the one who annoys everyone the most is...
Next up is Fedora, who he's the kind of guy who is all about the bling bling and being swag.
He's like one of those social media jerks who thinks he's black but is very painfully not black.
Right. He's very white, but acts like he's just the homiest home slice in the whole Shawizzle world.
Yeah. He also makes a lot of mistakes that he doesn't really know how to account for. Like
Yeah,
he'll try to, like during a group meeting, he'll try to, they're in Vermont and he tries to order a pizza from West Virginia
right. So he's very lacking in the common sense department.
or
But then
any
again,
sense.
just about everyone in this league, save for Top and to a lesser extent Bowler, none of them really have all that much common sense.
Now, I do disrespect that. I have far more common sense than any of my friends, I do tell you.
Well, that
Can
doesn't
someone
really
catch a.
say much. I'm getting ahead. We
Oh,
haven't gotten
who?
to him yet.
Yeah, can someone catch Lee Fraser up on what he missed? Now, the next guy, it seems like he's your favorite of the hat to voice, it
He's fun.
seems.
I like to voice the next one coming up. Um, the next one is Beanie, who the best way I can describe him is he's just a total dope, and not dope as
Oh,
in like the cool. That's so dope, as Fedora would probably say. No, he'd probably say dopalicious. Um, no, Beanie is just a straight up moron.
oh yeah.
He's definitely the least intelligent of the league, which says something when you've got Fedora and the next one in line after Beanie. Um,
Beanie is. He tries so hard.
yeah,
He tries,
he's
but
he's kind of a kiss up to the higher members sometimes.
yeah, he doesn't, he's like the evil version of a
Like
super
Seuss
person.
almost.
What?
Yeah,
And
he's kind of
actually,
like Seuss in some ways.
yeah, he's like a slightly evil Seuss.
Right.
Um,
And he's really not evil. Like he's a nice guy, but he's just kind of goes around with these people because like and does the evil things because he's evil, but like he's really not that evil.
oh yeah, and you voice him. Oh, you
Mm-hmm.
also voice Fedora. Can you give us some of each?
Oh yeah, Fedora line. Yo, home slice, that's wiggity whack up in here. Don't be hitting me with them vibes. Just chill.
I don't understand what you are saying to me, so I will just hum. Hmm.
That's a
Even with
pretty
your
song.
oh, it's not a nice hum. It's just humming, and it's slightly off key humming. How do you do that?
So yeah, Beanie's got I guess you could call it like a Kermit-esque voice.
He just sounds like this and doesn't really know what he's talking about half the time, but he just goes along with it because why not?
Oh, I know why not. I know many things. You are a giant ignoramus and a waste of space.
I don't have a comeback for that because I don't even know what it means.
Were you even paying attention?
Well, I mean, there was a butterfly over there, so I got a little distracted.
Butterfly, where? I gotta see it.
Oh, why must I work with them? I could have been starring on Broadway in Death of a Salesman, but no, I have to be working with these villainous wannabes.
Exactly.
And then we get to the last and most useless member.
Which I mean, after going over the last three, you'd think we'd already covered that, but no.
Cap.
Baseball hat essentially, but yeah, Cap has a nicer ring to it.
Cap doesn't really know. Well, we don't really know much about Cap, but that's intentional because Cap doesn't talk. He just makes noises.
Primarily slide whistle noises.
Yeah, I voice the light whistle. Watch, I can do this just with my mouth.
And I will attest that there is no slide whistle anywhere near.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, Cap just doesn't really do anything. He just hangs out, sits back, and just sits there most of the time, occasionally commenting with a whistle.
Yeah, he's very lazy. He doesn't like doing work. He just kind of sits around while all the other league men with disappointing hats do all the other work. And no, they're not happy with that.
Yeah, no, they do not like him much.
They're very, very dissatisfied. And they often get in a very butting head relationship with the group, specifically Erasmus seems to be their least favorite. Specifically, Top and Erasmus get along the least.
Right.
Because, they're polar opposites.
Right.
But then there's the other side characters that are actually good guys. The pastor of the church, because there's a Methodist church right in the middle of the real life Standard, Vermont. But in the fictionalized version, it's non-specific denomination. That way, everybody can be happy.
Yeah.
Sorry, just a sec.
What?
So I had to respond to something in the chat. For those wondering what we're talking about, it's the show that he and I are working on right now, hopefully to be the next Christian children's show sensation that'll sweep at least 3 states in the nation, hopefully, preferably Texas. That's my favorite state. But the leader of the church is.
I hope will be a hit in Vermont.
Vermont has to like it. Actually, I'm a little scared of what Vermont is going to think after all of this, but we'll just have to see.
If I guess maybe if we kind of like have some kind of test audience and Vermontiers don't like it, then we'll just, I guess, at that point make it some fictional place that just.
Yeah, like West Vermont. It's the new state. Even though Standard is in East Vermont.
Right.
It's still called West Vermont.
Because it's west of the other states on the East Coast. No one said it was west of Vermont. It's just west of certain things.
Exactly.
That actually kind of funny.
Let's see. So the pastor of the church, his name is Pastor Haas, who's based off of one of my heroes, Ross Perot, which you guys should be familiar with the Doki Doki Literature Club playthrough. Ross Perot, for those of you who don't know, was the independent candidate who ran against Bill Clinton and George Herbert Walker Bush in 1992 and ran against Bill Clinton and Bob Dole in 1996. He was an independent conservative guy who had a lot of really good things and said a lot of things would happen to the environment and the whole government, and everything he said turned out to be true. He got 19% of the popular vote, but a lot of people, 60% in fact, say they would have voted for Ross Perot had they known that everything he said was going to come true. And I think he would have been a great leader. That's why I really like Ross Perot, and I decided to make Pastor Haas him. He's the guy who said things like, you hear that giant sucking sound? That's all our jobs going down south because of NAFTA. You see, NAFTA is just going to take all our jobs away because we are going to pay all those people a very minuscule amount while over down in Mexico talking about all these things. He's that guy. That's Ross Perot. And that's kind of Pastor Haas. He rambles on. He rambles on a lot of the time. He's from Alabama. He came to Vermont. He tends to ramble on. He has these wise truisms he tries to tell everybody, whether or not people actually listen. He's a genuine guy. He tries his best to make sure that people are happy, but he can be a little ineffective sometimes.
Right.
Then there's the League of Men with Disappointing Hats boss, Mayor Kerfumpter.
Who is the mayor of Stannard. And I guess, I don't know if this directly applies because Kerfumpter isn't a word, but that kind of word would probably apply. He's pretty wacky and doesn't really, he is very not grounded in reality.
Yeah, he doesn't know what he's doing, but he's so sweet about it.
Yeah, he's pretty. I don't think we've yet to write a scene with him in it where he is not happy about something.
Yeah, like the horseradish scene.
Even when he's talking about things he doesn't like, he's still just happy about it.
And he's always got a really fanciful look on everything because he's always easily impressed. His first line is when he's walking up onto a stage and he says, "Oh," he climbs up the stairs and he looks back at the stairs and say, "Oh, the magical stage lumps have elevated me to a higher elevation," or something like that. I don't remember what it is specifically. I don't have the pilot script up right now.
I don't remember the exact line, but yeah, it was something about the stage lumps lifting him. So yes, the voice. And I guess loosely the character, although character was kind of previously undefined, that I based for him, because I'm voicing him also. Back last year, so spring 2017, I was in Wizard of Oz at my school, and I was just a general ensemble character. One of my ensemble roles was the mayor of Munchkinland, but then, as I'm sure you probably know, maybe if you've kind of been sticking around for a little while, I broke my leg. And so I couldn't really do most of the roles, but then they're like, well, you're the mayor. We could have you, like, be in a wheelchair and be like an old crippled mayor. And so I that was kind of that became my only role. So I did this kind of kooky, wacky British mayor voice. And granted, I didn't really have all that many lines, so I didn't really establish any sort of exact wackiness to the character. But we always just kind of thought it. So that developed into Kerfumpter.
It's true. And Kerfumpter has been one of the best to write for because he just says the most outlandish things, and it's just a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get his
sense. Things that just make no sense.
And then we get his sidekick, Miss Lackey. She's a very, I guess, alluring person who definitely can talk some sense into the insane mayor, and she's got the most beautiful, lovely voice.
Hello there, my name is Ms. Wacky. How are you doing today? I'm so happy to see that you're doing so good.
Don't make fun of her. That's not nice.
Yeah, so she's a lot more grounded than Kerfumpter is. So she kind of knows what she's doing a little more than him. I mean, a lot more than him. Because someone who figured maybe it would be a good idea to put, like, some peanut butter on my sandwich, automatically, by saying that, has more common sense than Kerfumpter.
Yes. Kerfumpter's probably the least intelligent character on the show, and that's kind of saying a lot.
Well, to be fair, he does have a pretty wide vocabulary.
That is true.
I wouldn't say it's quite so much that he's unintelligent, though he's not that bright. It's more that he's just kind of senile and insane and absent-minded.
That is true. And I'm going to read a quote that he and Erasmus share between each other, because they're talking right here about some stuff going on. This is in the very first episode. He says, "You and I have a lot in common, you know. You and I both got our positions because nobody else really wanted them. Well, yes, that. But also I was going to say that we wear socks. I don't wear socks. I wear sandals. Well, I'm wrong again, I see." He's always just so happy about everything, even when he fails.
Right. He just doesn't acknowledge the bad things that happened because he's just oblivious to them, just like he's oblivious to most things.
Yeah, exactly. But he means well.
Yeah.
Let's see. We also have the Grumble brothers, who are based off the gangsters from the Drowsy Chaperone. We also have, so Bidleman wants your donut. Yeah, that's a good way to start. We like the joke, so we decided to make that a series of characters. They are called the super interfacial, crime-fighting, ultra-determined, justice-bringing, avenging people who will surely stop at nothing to defeat evil, also known as the SICFUD JBAP WW SSINBE team. And no, I did not read that.
I mean, to be honest, even if you had, reading it that fast would still be pretty impressive. But no, I can attest, he did not read it.
Yeah. Oh, and it's actually one of the very few pieces of merchandise we have is a shirt with that on there, and I have one back home. Remember that shirt?
Yeah.
Don't steal that shirt. I want that shirt. You can't wear it. But so only the leader wants donuts, while the other two actually want to be the police because they're the police force, sort of. That's why Super Person is there, because the Super Person does their job, because the other two are forced to tag along with the chief, who grabs donuts. There's also an absent-minded shopkeeper named Miss Irvine, who's also played by me.
And she's got a very high falsetto voice and that sort of thing.
And she has a very lazy sidekick, essentially, named Derek, who never wants to do anything.
He's just the laid-back teen kind of guy.
There's also
really pay much attention to anything whatsoever.
There's also Erasmus's next door neighbor, Colonel Howard, the retired Navy person. There's just so many people to go over, and we're going to go over that in another day. But let's move on from the characters and start talking about some of the other things. How did this come to be? Well, I think it was in 2015 or 2014? I'm looking right now.
It was at my mom's birthday party.
It was. Yes, it was. Okay, so that was 2015 at your mom's party.
Right.
Sorry for those of you who thought we were brothers. We're not. I have no brothers or sisters.
Spoiler.
And in fact, actually, Fedora is based off of your older brother. Remember when he went through that black phase?
Right.
I know that sounds horrible, but that's a thing that happened.
Fedora was kind of extreme from that because thankfully my brother was not this level of the Fedora-ness. But yeah, he kind of went through that period where he would just like use all that kind of swag, kind of slang. And to be fair, many people, most teenagers do similar things like that. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. And for those of you who are apparently really shocked that I don't have any siblings, this guy is essentially my brother. I mean, we've known each other ever since we were conscious, so.
Yep. So
we know everything about each other. So, yes, I know everything. So
are you sure? Are you sure you know about my secret double life as a government spy?
Yeah, I know you. Of course, you're Mike Pence.
Oh yeah, of course I am. Right.
Yeah, you're Vice President Pence. But yeah, essentially I'm his honorary third brother, in a sense. Right. But that's not important right now. So we were at your mom's birthday party. The whole church was basically there. Well, not the whole bit, but like a lot of the people there. And I think you just stayed the night and we watched the first 2 episodes of VeggieTales in the house. And we hated it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely hated it. And that's all we could talk about for the rest of the day.
Yeah. And at that point, actually, I don't even think we finished watching them. I think it was just like, I think we finished the first one, but I don't even remember watching the second one. So,
we watched the first one, but we couldn't get all the way through the second one. We just hated it so much.
And then a little bit more. This is slightly off topic, but I'll go quick. A little more recently, I decided, well, maybe I'll try giving it a fair chance. I'll watch a couple more episodes. I regretted that. I did watch them all the way through, but it was painful.
Yeah,
that's a topic for another day, though. But yeah, long story short, not good.
By the way, someone just mentioned King Nothing One Ha. That he used to be a subscriber of mine. Whatever happened to him? Can you guys explain it? Anyways, we were there, and that's all we could talk about. I know we were supposed to celebrate your mom's coming into the world now, but we could do that any day. This was about finding out just how bad VeggieTales had gotten, because we'd known ever since things like Celery Night Fever or Little House That Stood, but this was a new low. We were so mad. Actually, I think this was 2014. Hang on, let me check.
Well, it would have been the year that In the House started, which I think was 14.
2014. No, it was January 2015. So.
Right, that's right.
January 2015. So.
Well, February. My mom's birthday is in February.
Yeah, and it was like the day before her birthday, right?
Right. Yeah. Her birthday's the 6th. Fun fact for you all. So next February 6th, you can wish my mom a happy birthday, and I'll pass it on to her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's terrible. That guy was cyberbullied away. Wow.
Oh. That's too bad.
Let's see. Yeah.
Well, hope he's doing all right.
I recognize a lot of those people.
I don't, because I'm not reading the chat right now. Because last time, I don't know if this was the actual cause of it, but last time when I was on my phone before and I tried to go to the actual stream to look at the chat, I got disconnected. I don't know if it was because I went onto or not the chat stream, I mean. I don't know if it was because I went there, but I'm not going to risk it. So I can't see the chat.
I'll let you know if anything super big comes in.
Okay.
Why does the name J Sears something Doodles? Why does that say? Oh, okay.
What?
I remember him. Wasn't he involved with VTA at some point? I know
Who?
I've heard that name. The Doodles guy. JC Doodles, JK Doodles, something in there. But anyways, if any of you guys can remind me who that is, please let me know. But we were talking about that all night, and then I think it was you at one point. I think this was you. You just said like, if this is so bad, someone has to fix this, and then I just said something like, "Well, let's do it then." And then
I think I said something along the lines of like, well, that's pretty much gone. So like, I guess my natural instinct to try and find some positive to it. I was thinking, well, on the bright side, now the stage is set for someone new to come in and give a fresh start and kind of like fill the shoes. I guess was so something along those lines. I think, and that's.
And then I said, like, well, why don't we just do it? Let's do it. And sure enough, right away, we instantly came up with the characters of Erasmus, Roberto, the League Men Disappointing Hats, and then
I think.
And then we
I
came
think
up with
at that
a,
point. Oh, we had who it was Digit.
Digit. Yeah, that's a character that's completely gone.
Right. Yeah, we ended up just eliminating her. She was a second robot. I guess she kind of became part of Roberto. Kind of because she was essentially Karen, like from SpongeBob, Plankton's computer wife. That was essentially Digit. She was kind of the snarky one, and then kind of at that point, Roberto was just kind of, I don't even know exactly what what he was established as a character at that point. He was just kind of the robot. But then I can't remember exactly at what point we decided to annihilate Digit, but I think we just were like, do we really need two robots?
It was at the same time when we created Elaine and Elena, so that was like towards the end of that summer.
Yeah, something like that. And at that point, so right, we just had those three characters, and it was a very different format. Oh, actually, we did come up with the League, at least around that time. It might have been a little later, but it was pretty early on.
No, it was that same day.
Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, at that point, the format was very different. It wasn't that kind of, like, as we mentioned before, like Simpsons kind of setup. It was much more, it was a lot closer to what VeggieTales would be. It was, Erasmus had this machine. It was the Bible Vision 2000. That's what it was.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that.
He invented it in the first episode, and or completed it at least.
Mm-hmm.
And its purpose was to like go back and like through time and like see the events of the Bible. But like right at the start, there was like water that dumped on it, or it was something weird like that, and so it got all messed up. So the stories kind of became all wacky. So then it would turn into like the wacky retellings of the Bible, and the whole standard Erasmus thing was just kind of the framing device.
Yeah, and then it was always our plan to spin it off into this. But then at one point we were just walking down the side of the road, which we usually did because by my house there were no sidewalks. But we walked down the road anyways. I remember we were talking about that, and I told them, we've been coming up with like 3 times as many ideas for this as we had with that old one. Let's just let's just skip that step and go right to this, and we did it.
Right, because we had kind of some plot ideas that were forming that were like these things that would happen like within the framing device, and like story arcs that would maybe happen. But then we're like, well, for like if that's just a framing device, but it has all this built around it, and like, why does it have to just be a framing device? Why not just make that the real thing?
Because we always had more fun developing the characters than we did all the other plots we were going to do.
Right, because when it came to wacky retellings of Bible stories, there's only so much we could do without just being VeggieTales with non-vegetables. Because, I mean, they've covered a lot of Bible stories, like a really solid chunk of all the Bible stories that are actually appropriate to tell to kids.
Exactly. And also, we didn't want to be too much of a ripoff. And here's the thing with Standard. You know why a lot of us voice, or like the three of us voice most of the cast? It's because if a Phil coup happens where they try to take us out, we have an agreement where if one of us goes, all of us goes. That means they're going to have to replace basically the entire cast, and that's going to hurt them.
Right.
So that means if they do get our property, they can't do anything with it without the fans freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
or having to go through great lengths to recast and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And while that may seem slightly presumptuous and pretentious to maybe think that like people like we're gonna get to the point where people are going to be trying to do that, you know what? Two things. One, aim big. Big goals make big things happen. And two, it never hurts to be safe because, I mean, VeggieTales wasn't planning on being this huge major Christian Disney as Phil Vischer described it. And if maybe they had known how big they were going to get, they would have maybe kind of thought to like, let's make sure no one grabs a hold of us and changes everything on us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And with that, too, we definitely had that in the beginning because you never know. As we have done with a lot of research, the market's still very lucrative. But the thing is, with a lot of things like Straczynski and the Mysterious House or the Bible Man animated series, they make money.
Mysterious House a Christian thing?
Yeah, it was based off of a Christian radio play from the.
That's right. It's based off of the parables of Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but like it's things like that. They make a lot of money, but then
I haven't watched it in full, but what does it have to do with the Bible?
Essentially nothing. Matt and I watched it a couple nights ago, and it's basically nothing.
I haven't watched it the whole way through, but
it's bad. It's bad.
I saw someone make a view on it, and in the comments it said, like, based on the works of C.S. Lewis, some other person, and the parables of Jesus Christ. And I was just like, what?
Funny thing is, the Glub Go Gub Go Lub is the only thing in that's so bad it's good. The rest is just bad. But it's things like that where it's like they make a lot of money, but then they're hated. So people still want to see something, anything, but why not put effort into it? That's one of the reasons why I've been doing more Veggie Talks lately than TV Talks, is because as we're transitioning to getting ready for this show, and that's why we're also doing more Late Live and Reloaded stuff, is because we're starting to take a look at other little kids shows, specifically Christian ones. What do they do right? What do they not do right? And while it is embarrassing to watch some things like Peppa Pig, it definitely helps you get some information as to what they do right and wrong. Or in the case of Peppa Pig, they do everything wrong. That's the only little kid show I've seen that has done nothing right.
I can't even watch that show. We watched like a little clip of it in Chinese one day because apparently it's pretty big over there or something. I don't know. And no, I mean, I couldn't even understand what they were saying. And it was still just like, this is dumb.
It's just the most insipid stuff you can possibly think of.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things we're trying to avoid. Ever since we started off with this show, because like I said, we came up with it on your mom's birthday, and then it just continued to grow. One of the things we'd always wanted throughout the entire time we've done this is a show that both kids and adults could like. Not just the way VeggieTales did it, but ours is actually with a little bit more of adults in mind, because albeit kids are easier to entertain. There are two prongs to this. Kids do need the kind of good structure to laugh at stuff. Kids are smarter than we give them credit for. You can't just show them a bunch of crap and then they expect to like it. Kids definitely have taste, sometimes not good taste, but still. But the thing is, a lot of the times, like I said in the 3-2-1 Penguins Cubo thing I did a couple days ago, parents are going to have to watch these with their kids. So why not make something that they're going to like just as much and if not more? There's a lot of adult jokes in Standard, not like inappropriate adult jokes, but jokes that only adults are going to get.
Right.
Specifically, like a lot of finance or politician jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Although
And
no
some,
Donald Trump jokes. Just saying, because
and the occasional meta humor joke.
yeah, meta humor, very fast pun humor. There's a lot of that wordplay. A lot of the things that the Simpsons do with the weird signs that are on buildings.
Right, yeah.
You're going to kind of see it when more stuff comes to fruition. Eventually, there will be another channel which will document this as it goes on. And once that show debuts, this channel will actually stop. Because that's going to be the priority. They're going to have their own. They're going to have their own stuff. What am I saying? They're going to have their own YouTube channel and all, but this one will no longer be a thing.
Brings tears to your eyes.
Yeah, but it's kind of has to happen because this is certainly something that we definitely feel called to do. I mean, not like the chat knows because all they're doing is talking about other YouTube poopers. But oh well, they'll rewatch it hopefully, or maybe they'll just start paying attention. But that's kind of the point of this. A lot of the stuff on here is preparing for the show. VeggieTales Live and Reloaded and Light and Dark especially. Which Light and Dark, I'm looking over the auditions right now. I've made most of my decisions. You should hear back on Wednesday the casting decisions, and then yeah, you'll see. But the show we're really pushing to bring back the Sunday morning value, Saturday morning fun that you so desire. Make Christian children's entertainment great again. That's what we're doing. We're coming back.
We need to get
actually, well, I should just rebrand the hat I already have and just like tape over America and put Christian children's entertainment in like really small letters. But
that'd be funny.
But what was I saying? Oh yeah, it actually kind of is like the president a little bit. How like we had something right there, and then in our eyes, at least, like in his eyes, we want to set it back to the status quo, albeit a little less filtered. Because admittedly, standard Misadventures is a little less filtered than VeggieTales was.
Yeah.
There's like we said, there's a little bit more stuff that what was I gonna say? There's a little bit more, like I said, adult jokes in there. And Christian children's entertainment is in a very big trouble, as the DM Hofland, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, has just said. But we could be the ones to bring it out. You never know. If we put a lot of work and effort into it, we might be able to bring it back.
Mm-hmm. And also one thing that I think is kind of a key thing is that even though it is definitely a Christian biblically based show, it's not like exclusive to that. Like it's a show that like hopefully at least other people outside of Christianity would still enjoy.
Yeah, like who knows? Maybe it'll be a brony thing.
Yeah, which I think like lessons on how to behave. That's good. You got to have that. But like that's not what seals the deal. If you get like non-Christians to actually find that and actually realize like, oh, this is good. I like this. We're doing it. Then it's like that's the real silver icing on the cloud cake.
Yeah. Whatever that means. And as much as we are talking how we would like to be the next VeggieTales, there is an important catalyst to that, is to not expect it. Hasn't Kurt Warner taught us that lesson? For those of you who don't know, in 2003, Kurt Warner, you know, the famous, was he quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals or something?
He was a quarterback. Yeah, he was a few teams, but I think, he was at the time, just the Cardinals, I think. I don't know a ton about football.
In 2003, when VeggieTales was at its absolute peak, by the way, Alzario, thank you. He has faith in us. That's good. He says we're going to dominate the Christian children's department, and thank you. We're really hoping we can, but we're not going to expect anything until it happens. You never know what God's plan is. Well,
right.
He does. We don't.
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst.
Exactly. We have backups just in case, but we do really hope this works. what was I saying? Oh yeah, so Kurt Warner in 2003, when VeggieTales was at its absolute highest, he thought, hey, you know what would be more popular than talking fruits and vegetables? Talking sports balls. And so he made the Good Sports Gang, which is like VeggieTales, but awful. We have been trying to get the DVD back for just the
I
longest
used to have
time.
both of them. Yes, I did say both of them. There are 2 episodes.
I only saw the first one, and even as a kid, I thought it was weird.
I can't remember what the second one was. I
It was
know
about-
there was one, and I know I saw it, but I have no memory of what it was.
Because
I just
that's one
remember
of
the
the
first one.
that's one of the first things we're gonna buy with the Patreon money is we're gonna buy that DVD back. So not only we can make a watch series episode of it, but we can also review it.
Yeah. Like, I know I had them. I have no idea where they are, though.
Yeah, and like I remember we spent a whole like 3 hours in your storage room looking for that thing.
Yeah.
I think it got lost in the move because you moved in like 2000. Was it 2008?
It was summer of 2010.
Okay, I was off. But yeah, I think it got lost because we looked everywhere for that. But the thing is with Kurt Warner is what he did in Good Sports Gang was he just took the bare basics of what VeggieTales was. 1 or 2 adult jokes, talking inanimate objects, songs, but it all messed up. The animation was disgusting. The voice acting was terrible. Even the adult jokes were terrible. The animation and the character designs, everything was bad. The songs were unbearable.
And the storylines were... The first storyline, I actually kind of have, surprisingly, a very... like a strangely avid memory of that first episode. It's like the kid was playing cricket.
Flobo.
No, not cricket.
It was called Flobo. I remember that.
It was lacrosse, wasn't it?
It was like lacrosse, but with a bird for a ball, and it was called Flobo.
Okay,
I don't know if I remember that.
Okay, well, so he was playing. I'm just gonna say lacrosse. It was lacrosse. So, and like he was getting bullied by people because, yeah, that's, yeah. Huh? And then, so they broke his lacrosse stick, and then he was sad. And then, the football, disguised as an old man football. I don't know why he decided to be an old man, to later reveal that, like, psych, I'm not an old sentient football. I'm a young sentient football. Got you.
And, like, the lesson was always the same. But the thing is, there was
well,
an arrogance.
Can we really say always if there was only 2?
Yeah. But the thing is, like, it had this arrogance behind it. It always, right from the very beginning, thought it was going to be the next big thing. And if you look at the front cover, the first one, it looks disgusting. And I'm looking at it right now, and I want to scream because this looks horrible. The animation is like Dorby's level. I'm not kidding. It looks like if Dorby's were sports. I'm going to put a link to the Google search results in the chat, and you guys make your judgments for yourself. Check this out. But like I said, this is the important part of not being so arrogant, because if you come across as not arrogant and your show doesn't do well, at least you don't get humiliated. Kurt Warner's still embarrassed to talk about this, and he tried bringing it.
He just tried to like sweep it under the rug.
And he admittedly he did try to bring this back with like an app game, but that backfired because a lot of people remembered it and they made fun of him for that, and he took it off because of it, I think. But but that's the important part. Like I said, we've watched a lot of these videos to make sure that we know what we're doing. And unfortunately, a lot of little kids entertainment, or at least kids entertainment in our eyes, just doesn't do a good job. They don't treat kids like people. They just treat them like drooling little monsters that'll watch anything. That like watching dangling keys. They're smarter than that, and they need important lessons and structures.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing with that is, he and I both agreed on this. The first season of the show is going to be kind of irregular, but as the seasons go on, we're going to get into more deeper lessons, because all kids shows teach the same lesson. Don't lie.
Right.
Be nice. A message from the Lord. But what about things like handling divorce, death, or what
Right.
you're doing when you're feeling guilty? All of these things are big, important parts of life, but nobody's preparing people for this.
Right. And these are things that, I mean, people can go through at any age, it's never easy for anyone to go through it, but for like kids to go through some of those really hard things at a young age, which easily happens a lot, then that's at a point in their life when they're still very emotionally vulnerable, and not knowing how to deal with that can lead to a lot of stress and issues down the road. So, yeah. I mean, and this isn't, and though, like, in the Christian aspect, this is not something that really anyone does, but in the grand scheme of things, kids shows have done this before, and it's, like, turned out well. Like, even though sometimes today we might look at it and be like, that's weird that they do that, but, like, things like Sesame Street talking about death, like, that's kind of weird, like, looking at it, like, now, and just, like, there's a Sesame Street episode about death. And
that still makes me choked up. That was depressing.
It was depressing. But at the same time, like, it was a legitimate, like, lesson that was taught. And it was, like, maybe could have been a little less heavy. But, like, overall, like, that's kind of it shows that that's kind of something that things like that can be important to do and can be done without being total soul crushers.
Exactly. That's why we're going to try to make it ourselves rather than going to some kind of network. We want to distribute it on like Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or something. But there's one thing we got to do, and it's make sure we keep the intellectual property. Because if a network is going to control us, don't expect to see any of this, because they're not going to want to have us teach about death or have all these adult jokes. That's one of the reasons why I know I hate having to constantly push for the Patreon thing, but this is why we want a lot of the money. And yes, all of that is going towards the videos, but here's the thing. If the videos are better, we get more people coming in. If we get more people coming in, we can start doing ad revenue on YouTube. If we can start doing ad revenue on YouTube, we can get more cash flowing in, and then that cash is going to go towards standard, because we're already saving a lot for standard, but we still got a long way to go. Animation's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, okay, should we tell them about Muffin and Smelly?
Oh, yes, Muffin and Smelly. Yes, we need to cover that for sure.
Okay, so when we were little kids, our moms took us to this. Was it our church that hosted this, or was it like just some other church? I don't know what it was.
I think it was ours. I vaguely remember doing it in like our like the children's room at the old church building.
Yeah, I think you're right. But anyways,
I do have vague memories of that. But
they hosted this puppet show. And remember how I said that people just don't know how to entertain kids and give them good, solid Christian values? Well, that was this. The puppets were very weird looking. They were poorly crafted, and the puppeteers were not especially good. So he and I, being like 5 years old or something, I don't know why, we just started calling the puppets Muffin and Smelly and just made fun of them for like the rest of the day.
Right.
And so, yeah, at age 5, we started Mystery Science Theater, even though that was already around at the time. But we didn't even know that existed, so take that. So the Muffin and Smelly things have always kind of stuck in the back of our minds. And we want to put this in the show. Like, they'll turn on the TV, and it's like an itchy and scratchy thing. It's Muffin and Smelly. It's live action, disturbing, ugly puppets, and they do something stupid. And that's going to be one of the running jokes of standard. So we're in the process of looking for puppets to use. What do we find but the actual puppets that were used in that puppet show all those years ago? We found the exact ones because we looked it up. This is not a copyrighted thing. Those puppets were made by those actual people and just them. So they're not copyrighted. And we found the exact ones for sale. And we would think it would be awesome.
In theory, it'd be possible that they'd have like multiple of the same puppet, but like, really? Nah.
Yeah, and that's one of
Theoretically,
the.
it's possible, but either way, it's the same like manufacturers and the same.
Yeah.
It was it was just crazy that we just found these things. We're just like, it's Muffin and Smelly.
Yeah, that's like the muffin and smelly stuff. It'd be awesome to get those puppets, but they're a bit expensive, so that's one of the reasons why we're saving up. Also, we're not going to be able to buy the animation for ourselves, so that's why we're going to have to pitch it to Word. That's one of the publishers we have in mind to help give us some cash to help keep it going. But Muffin and Smelly, yeah. So that's one of the reasons. If you guys want to support us with Patreon, there's a link in the description. There's a lot of tiers to offer. And like I said, every penny of the Patreon stuff is going towards these videos to help them get better, to help us get more revenue, to help us start funding Standard. Because Standard is the end goal here. We're going to make sure that this whole thing ends up a success as best as we can. I mean, God's in control, so he'll be able to control that as he sees fit.
Right.
And we do definitely hope that this takes off because we do feel like this is what we were called to do.
Yeah, and it's like kind of just an ideal thing. It's a thing that both of us like doing, and then it just like it's got good cause and morals behind it. So, hey.
Yeah. So like I said, please help us with the Patreon. That'd be awesome. But Standard is we're really going to hope that this thing takes off. We have some artists behind it, although we're in a little bit of a stuck position right now. We have the theme song, although no animation towards it. We're looking at some people who are interested at doing some storyboards, and we have most of the cast together, and also pretty much all of the first season. We just got like 6 episodes left, I think. That's although that isn't including the one that I'm writing right now. But we're hoping that this is going to be a good thing. And if you guys ever have any questions about the show, you can go ahead and ask. In fact, all of you guys, do you have any questions about the show? We shall now answer them. Let's give them a minute to think of some stuff. So in the meantime, Channel Awesome is currently losing a lot of subscribers, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
They have lost.
I haven't been I haven't been necessarily keeping up with all the details, but I basically know the gist of they were kind of jerks to the people working with them. So that's basically the extent of what I know.
And for the record, it's questions about Standard, not Light and Dark. Will we post small clips? Maybe someday after it's already ready available. Yeah, while you guys are answering asking those questions, we'll just continue rambling about Standard. So, what else should we talk about at the show? Is there anything else we should bring up?
Let's see. Well, do we want to maybe go a little more in depth with some of the other side characters, or should we leave that for another time?
Let's keep going into the side characters because not very many questions are popping up.
All right.
Oh, here's somebody. Why Vermont? So let's see. Why Vermont? Well, Standard is a real town, and when we looked up small towns, because it was originally going to be set in New Mexico, but we didn't think that was as awesome. So he, after church, got on his laptop and started looking up small towns. And when we found Standard, we did a little bit of research into it because it was between
we got this like population list of some of the smallest towns in America. Standard wasn't by any means the smallest, but it was just kind of the most bizarrely, obscurely small. Like there were others that were a bit smaller, like some even going under the hundreds, but I don't know, Standard just kind of stood out to us. I think also the name is kind of fun. It's just Standard.
And we did some research on it too, because it was between 2 towns in Vermont, including Standard, and I think 1 in Missouri. But when we started doing some research into Standard, we found out there were some weird things going on there, so we thought it'd be perfect
Right.
Plus,
Particularly some of the things about the town, like the severe lack of paved roads, the like single church in the middle, and then aside from that, there's really nothing there.
yeah, and like I said, it's so boring there that they have to make an Oscar Mayer holiday for the Oscar Mayer Wiener truck running by.
Yeah.
And also Vermont, because I like it when shows take place in states that are kind of obscure. Like, I don't know about you, but one of my biggest pet peeves is when a show takes place in California or New York, because those are like the two most common ones to have them take place in. I don't know why, I just hate it because it's just
I feel that.
cliche.
Yeah, I really liked that Gravity Falls was in Oregon. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, like
Oregon's
the only other show that I could
just a bit below me. So
the only other show that I could find that takes place in Vermont is Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Oh, that's in Vermont?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't know that until I looked it up. Let's see. Is our show going to be like VeggieTales coming out a few a year? Well, we're hoping for seasons, actually.
Yeah.
Um,
So I guess like within a year there'd probably be a season that came
like
out.
13 to 18 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to say the company name just yet. Not yet. We're waiting. Let's see. It's based off of Scooter from VeggieTales and Groundskeeper Willie. Slightly Groundskeeper Willie, although we always just kind of did like the idea of an angry Scottish person because
Right.
Alfonso here just loves Scotland.
I like Scotland. The UK in general is fun.
Yeah, I'd rather live here though.
Yeah. But I really want to visit the UK.
Well, of course. The UK seems like a very nice place. It's just, I like my country.
Especially Scotland and Wales and Ireland and England and Northern Ireland.
Oh, yeah. So
Ireland
that's
isn't actually part of the UK. I don't know why
so,
I said that.
Well, that's all we're going to do for standard. There are some things about the show or the channel that's going to be coming up that we're going to start talking about. One of the things we're hoping to do, providing funds are accepting, is Jimmy and Jerry's Let's Plays. Not bad Let's Plays, just actual ones. Like Jimmy and Jerry going back onto the games that Pograve and Mr. Luck played with an actual capture card, or Pograve and Khalil played with an actual capture card and actual skill. Problem is we don't have a capture card yet. But we're hoping to do that. We'll also have found some interesting food items, but because some of them are liquids, I can't bring them back from here in Arizona. But
yeah, kind of the irony there, back with the Let's Plays, is that Jimmy and Jerry, the least competent VeggieTales characters, end up being the ones that are actually good at video games, which I mean kind of makes sense. They're the kinds of guys who would slack off and play video games.
Oh yeah. But,
although Mr. Lunt and Larry in the Jonah commentary, they reveal that Jimmy and Jerry are actually classically trained thespian actors.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah, they'd be great at games, but we'll just have to make sure we can get a fun stuff going. Some more live loaders are coming in with good old Billy Willie pitching some stuff. That's going to be fun. Let's see. What else was it? The Avenue Q one's coming. He's going to be writing a couple more episodes, actually. One based off Tarzan, one based off Beauty and the Beast. Not Beast.
Mm-hmm. More aligned to the Disney version than the original fairy tale, because this is true for most of the original fairy tales that Disney based their movies off of. They're either really boring and just like simple and like, man goes to buy Rose, he gets Rose and brings it back to his daughter, or completely disturbing, like crows peck out her sister's eyes.
Oh yeah,
and chop off their toes. So yeah, fairy tales that Disney took inspiration from, yeah, they're either boring or morbid. So yeah, going off of the Disney one.
Yeah, and food specials, of course, because those are always fun. We just need to make sure we can get some stuff. Also,
I mean, fun
as promised,
in a strange sense, but
Yeah, I found some indie deados at the store, but don't worry, I didn't pick any
Yeah.
up. And yes, just as Megachu said, we are gonna watch Brazilian VeggieTales because those are disturbing.
Wait, whoa, wait, whoa, what? What? Why haven't I heard about the Brazilian VeggieTales? What is this?
You'll find out someday.
Okay.
Also, everybody repeat after me with Cave Cat. Yes, when the Tower of Heaven's coming out, be patient. Your time will come soon enough. Remember, whenever you ask me that kind of stuff, it's always the same response. It's funny. I've been doing that for 2 years now, and nobody seems to get it. It's like they think like, oh, this is the time where it's not going to happen. This is the time where he's going to forget. But no, I love seeing your guys' reactions, so it's awesome.
That's a fun clip.
And don't worry, VTA is still going on. Just ask Leaf when he's going to get the next episode out, because I've already recorded the stuff for the next three, and we're just waiting on the next one getting edited together. That's another thing I'd like, if I could get enough money, is to hire more editors. But I can't. I can only do one. And with $2 a month right now on Patreon, that's going to be a little hard.
But hey, gotta start somewhere.
You heard it right here. May 1st will be the day for the next VeggieTales Abridged. Then hopefully we can get some stuff going by fast, because I know that I'm getting pestered by these comments almost daily.
Hey,
even though on the last episode,
take it as a compliment.
Even though on the last episode I said that that has no set schedule, and that anyone who asks will be sent to that video, and that's still the same. But yeah, what else were we saying? So there's more stuff coming up this summer.
I'm not at all in a position to critique any sort of lack of schedule, considering for shameless self-plug, for the series I'm making, I've had my pilot episode in the works since 2015, I think. Or at least I was originally planning to release it in summer of 2015. I didn't. And I still haven't.
Shame on you.
I'm working on it.
I'm working on it. I was making a YouTube video to tell everyone to get it off. You'll get that stuff off of there. I'm working on it. Chris Chan. We should make a Chris Chan character. I'm so angry. And Elzario, it's going to be one 22-minute episode per episode, so no segments. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff coming up pretty soon for the VeggieTales stuff, and also for Standard. Like I said, we need to really make sure that we can start improving the stuff if we want to get more audience, because we need to get 200 more subscribers in order to start getting paid again, because YouTube has since revoked that ability. I mean, we only made $200 anyways, but still, it's something.
Yep. I mean,
you got to make sure we can get going.
Yep. I mean, the YouTube ad copyright system is pretty messed up anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
And like Veggie Shorts, we're hoping will make a comeback, as it says here on the Patreon page.
Yes.
And of course, we're definitely waiting for that Mr. Generous to send in that $1,000. That's never going to happen, and we're totally fine with that.
I mean, you never know.
Oh, I kind of know, and I know that it won't happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's a definite likelihood, but there could be some millionaire out there. The chances of that are less than 0.5%. But it's not zero.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's like Dumb and Dumber. It's like, I'd say our chances are 1 in a million. So you're telling me there is a chance?
It kind of is. Let's just hope we can keep going. We're going to be able to, though. We got a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
Just don't worry. We got a lot of stuff coming. All you need to do is 1, 2, 3, be patient. Your time will come soon enough.
Listen to Bible Man. He teaches
Yes.
good lesson.
I wonder how that animated series is doing.
Yeah, I haven't really paid attention to it. Is it like actually going, or is it just being made currently?
No, it's out, but I don't
Okay.
know if it's still going.
I haven't heard anything
I think it.
on it.
Okay, it looks like it's in between seasons right now. This looks even. Every time I look at it, it just looks worse than I remember.
Yeah.
There's Lego sets of this?
Oh no, I refuse.
No,
to
they're
believe
rip-off Legos. They're rip-off Legos.
That I accept.
Spoiling the schemes of Luxor Spondra. That's the name of the episode you're going with, guys.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like a very Bible Man-like name.
It sounds even worse. Get your copy today. No thanks.
Still, I mean, I just don't know why they decided to do that. I mean, was Bible Man ever really that popular?
Less and less as time went on.
Yeah, I mean, when it first came out, it was like, oh, cool, Bible Man.
And according to the
like,
website, Dr. Fear and Luxor Spondroth are entirely different people. Even though they're not, as we covered in the Dr. Fear episode. There's also villains like the Master of Mean and the Crusher.
The Crusher.
Yes, and the Mayor of Maybe.
The Mayor of Maybe? What is it, like a lesson in indecisiveness?
I guess. And it just
what the
says
heck
he's
is the
defeated
Crusher
by
supposed to teach? You know,
anger.
the 11th commandment, thou shalt not crusheth.
It says destroy kids' faith through violence. Oh no.
Okay.
There's also the Ronin of Wrong.
The Ronin of Wrong. So, lesson here. Don't do the wrong thing.
Oh, and this is my favorite, Baroness.
That's a thing.
That's it. It's just Baroness. That's it.
It's just Baroness. Wait, it's not the Baroness of Badness.
No, it's just Baroness.
It's just Bible Man and the Baroness.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow. Maybe it's actually just like a literal Baroness.
It kind of is. It says gets kids to argue and create conflict among friends and family.
What is this? Maybe it was supposed to be Baroness of Bickering.
It just says Baroness. Okay, here's the episode guide.
Did you just run out of space?
Oh my gosh, these are horrible. Listen to these episodes. Melting the Master of Mean. Clobbering the Crusher. Dr. Fear's almost perfectly disastrous day. The Mayor of Maybe doles out doubt. Disabling the Disobey Ray.
Right.
Braving the big battle with the Baroness. Stopping the Sultan of Selfishness. As Stanford Jesus foils Dr. Fear. Well, spoiler alert. Repelling
I think the biggest problem with Bible Man is since this has just always been the case, is that it makes it seem like sin is just some evil twirly villain who shoots a sin ray at you and makes you sin, and it totally takes away from any responsibility. It's just like, welp, I got hit with the anger ray. There's some evil villain who did that to me. It's like, not my fault.
Exactly. That's one of the things that always got me too. Even when I liked it as a kid, it's just.
It was just like, okay, so what? I mean, that kid didn't choose to get shot with this anger ray or disobey ray or whatever. So they don't need to learn a lesson.
It's true.
They just need to take better care and not talk to strangers.
Are you ready for Are you ready for more?
All right.
Repelling the Ronin of wrong. Getting right wrecks the Ronin of wrong.
Wait, what?
Getting right wrecks the Ronin of wrong. An adventure in righteousness.
Adventure in righteousness. Okay, that's actually that's not that bad. At least
that's the
subtitle.
That's the subtitle. That's the subtitle. Lighting up the shadow of doubt. Wiping out the Weiner brothers. And I almost thought that said Wiener brothers. That would have been weird. Bible Brigade versus the Ambassador of Ignorance. And then the part 2, ambushed by the Ambassador of Ignorance. Dispatching the Grand Duchess's disrespectful desserts. What kind of villain bakes wickedly delicious cinnamon buns? The kind that shows up at lunchtime to entice young Ricky to eat them and totally lose all respect for his dad and for the customers at the family-run general store. And so she lures Bible Man into a trap. She's one bad baker. Bible story. Jesus is a boy. Key verse, Luke 2:52. And there's more.
Oh, dear.
Fracturing the falsehoods of the fiddler, pulverizing the plans of the Prince of Pride, because he again is now a different person, expelling the Empress of Unhappiness, spoiling the schemes of Luxor Sponroth, scrapping the Sultan's stinging Scrapping the Sultan's stinging stickers of selfishness. I don't know what any of that is.
That's just wow. All right.
There's also say goodbye to the Grand Duchess agreed, halting the hateful hand of Mr. Malevolent. Fiddler's fakery goes up in fireworks and a wake-up call for the slacker. Remember Santa?
Oh, yeah. The slacker. Yeah. So, are there any other things we got to cover?
There are 2 questions here in the chat that I wanted to go over.
Okay.
Someone asked, have we heard from Isabel Cataldo? No, she just disappeared. Remember her? She did all that awesome artwork for Live and Loaded. We can't get a hold of her. She never gets back to her email. We can't say anything anymore. So if any of you guys can
I believe she lost her password.
Maybe, but if any of you guys can get a hold of her, please let us know because we definitely need that.
Yeah, that's peculiar. Also,
let's see.
So yeah, I might have to.
There's one more.
Okay, yeah, go through the last one.
I'm trying to find it. What are thoughts on? No, that's not it. That's not it. Okay, there's the Isabel Cataldo one. Okay, I just tried to find something here, but I guess someone retracted it or something. So, there's a lot of hate for hit entertainment going on in here, which I'm all for.
To be honest, I kind of miss them. Mattel is making me crazy right now.
And don't worry, we're going to do a TV talks on that in this summer, I promise you. But guys, thanks for watching. I hope you can keep supporting the show. Check out our Patreon to get cool stuff. And here's hoping to everything going on really strong. So thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.
Catch you on the flip side, home/brother soulmate.
Have a wonderful night. Very well.